I had this conversation the other day about standing on the shoulders of people that came before you, like your parents stand on the shoulders of your grandma that taught her hard work. Where your success now lays is grown from the success of your parents. I just find that really interesting. Like even within my business, seeing my dad have his own business, but now like having a brother that's also helping run a multi-million-dollar company has helped me start to think about business in a much larger way. And I think just the concept of like each generation building off that is something that really fascinates me. And I think it's something that you were kind of touching on.
Yes. You know, it's interesting. I come from a family of educators, and within that, on both sides, the women were manual workers as well as the men. My grandfather on my mother's side worked at a smelting plant in New Jersey, and my grandfather on my father's side worked for Merck as a truck driver. They were well-read, the men in particular, and they had vision for their children. The ultimate goal was college education. But Carter G. Woodson, he was the second African-American behind W.E.B. Du Bois to graduate from Harvard, wrote this book entitled The Miseducation of the Negro. He grew up in West Virginia as a coal miner, did not graduate high school until age 21. Contextually, that's different. You know, in our context, we're like, oh, what happened? You know, you must have been under, no, different dynamics, right? But he's the founder also of Black History Month, right? It started out as Negro History Week. But in this book, Miseducation of the Negro, he talks about my parents in particular, whereby their parents worked manual labor jobs. They sent their children to school to be educators, fixed income. By and large, in most public school, private school networks, teachers are not given a bonus whereby test scores or the performance of their students are linked to their compensation. That's a corporate ideal, right? That's a business ideal. But what he said is that we went for the validation of being educators and being within, you know, the government sector as far as bureaucrats, versus taking those experiences of their parents and optimizing them with business. Dad had an MBA, he taught, but he could have scaled my grandfather's transportation business. I say that because my sister and I, we own a company together. We've done some investing together. She's an MBA from Duke, very, very smart. But the mindset for us, we had to pivot. She was a Wall Street professional by the time that she was 20. Wall Street was a figment of my imagination. Didn't know what it was. But luckily, you know, through our undergraduate experiences at Morehouse and Spelman, there was a pipeline. As you talk about your brother and what he's done, and then the businesses that you were building, and then how we interact in our dealings, the conversations about leadership, the conversations about business and commerce become meaningful. We need to benchmark. We need to share experiences. We need to talk about, how do you make your team work? How do you stretch resources when they're limited? How do you push people to hold you accountable when you're the lead, inside and outside of your business, to ensure that you are optimizing your performance? And so those conversations that you're having, the conversations that I'm now having with my sister and my family, my children, and within my circle become crucial conversations. If we're not talking about business, particularly entrepreneurially, our very existence is compromised. You probably won't work for a gold watch and say that you were affiliated with a company and you retired. That's what my grandparents did.
Sure.
Your grandparents did. Your great-grandparents did. Yep. Our reality is totally different. It's create business, be successful in business, or die.